Hi there everyone, welcome to my cooking class. Do I look crabby? I'm just joking. Today I'm going to actually be making a recipe today using our classic crab cake package. And as you know, costs of things are going quite high, and I'm always doing cooking classes that are helpful and easy in your kitchen and that your family's gonna love and that is cost effective. So today I'm going to make what I'm gonna call Crabby Jambalaya. Okay, so this is such an easy meal today to make, and if you're looking for this after you see this cooking class, just know it's not available right now. It is an exclusive item. And if you had purchased the Epic Box subscription collection in the month of February, this would have been in your March collection. Now, if you love it, let me know, post it below. I will make sure that if this comes back or when it comes back, I let you know, because you may want to purchase lots of this. These ingredients in this package, because there's no crab in here, but it has rice flour, onions, red bell pepper, chives, paprika, sea salt, mustard, black pepper, and cayenne. Exactly the ingredients you need to make an amazing jambalaya, but it's all in one package. You don't need to go running through this spice aisle at your grocery store buying all those spices. You just buy this and you get packages of 3 when it does come back in stock. So let's get started. As you know, or maybe you don't, jambalaya is basically a mishmash of meat and vegetables. So it's really leftovers in your fridge potentially, and rice. So let's get the rice started, because that's going to be the first thing. And some of you may have a rice cooker at home, and it takes up a lot of real estate in your kitchen. So if you're trying to pare down things and make life really simple, let me introduce you to the round steamer. You could use the multi-purpose steamer, the large one as well, but I want to use the round one today. And what I've got inside here is 1 cup of pre-washed rice. So you could use whole brown rice as well. This is not minute rice, it's just whole grain rice. And if you do use brown rice, just know you have to add a little bit more water. So always wash your rice off so you can get rid of the starch, and then just simply add, well, for white rice, about 1 1/4 cups of water. Now, you can actually season this. So if you want to add some flavor, how about Nourish broth? Because we're going to be using this a little later on. But this is a way how you can always flavor your rice. So using the 4 and 1 spoon, love this, right? Tablespoon at this end, teaspoon at this end, and you just flip it over and there's a 1/2 and 1/4. Okay, so I'm going to put in, I think, just 2 teaspoons of the Nourish broth. Just stir it with our saute knife, our saute spoon, duh. And now I'm simply going to put a lid on it, and I'm going to put it in the microwave for, you ready for this? Depending on your microwave, 8 to 9 minutes. Okay, so give me a second. Let me just come right back to you. Okay, so we've got the rice cooking. Now we need to get our food ready, and you're gonna love this meal because it's basically 1 pot that pulls all this together. Now you could, if you didn't want to, you could actually cook your rice in the pan at the same time. But honestly, I need to shorten the time frame, because if you cook rice in a stove, it's gonna take about 40 minutes altogether. This way, done in a heartbeat. So we're gonna get the stove going. Medium-high heat. And what we're gonna do here is we're going to cook up our meat first. Now, normally with jambalaya, now I should probably give you some fun food facts. Jambalaya, jambo means ham. So there is thoughts that, wow, maybe at one time there was always ham in jambalaya. And the first appearance of jambalaya in a cookbook goes back to 1878. Wow. That's like forever, right? So anyway, so it may have had ham in it. But there's actually, they do believe that all the flavors actually came together from the Provençal, French area. And it also has African influence and it has Spanish influence. So we don't really know where it comes from. Now today, as I said, you can just use up whatever in your fridge. And I'm going to be heading off here in a few days for our conference in Florida. And so I thought, you know what? I'm just going to use up what I've got in the fridge. So I've got some turkey sausage here I'm going to use. And I have already cooked up chicken that I had the other day. I've got it in my prep bowl, so I just need to really heat that up. Actually, you know what? I'm just going to squeeze this right out of the casings. Now, normally, the other thing, you could put, you know, beef or pork. You could put ham. You could, like ham sausage. A lot of times in Cajun recipes, you'll see all the meats in slices. I'm just making it super easy for myself. I'm going to chop this up with my sauté spoon. And I'm getting rid of the casings. I don't really want them in there. And we're just going to fry this up so it caramelizes and gets a little bit brown. You notice I didn't add any oil to this because I usually find that sausage is so fatty already. And we just want to brown this up a bit, and then we're going to get our veggies added to it. Okay. There we go. Wash your hands. All right. So we'll just give this a, like I said, I'm just going to chop it up with my sauté spoon. Super easy to do. And you can see it's already browning already. Now, the next thing that we're going to want to make sure that we add in here, as I said, jambalaya is just a mishmash of veggies. And I had some leftover veggies, but one of the, actually the components for jambalaya are basically three things, okay? It always has celery in it, okay? So we're gonna chop up some celery. It always has onions, and we're going to use our mandolin with that. And it always has peppers. Now, when peppers are on sale, just here's a tip. I actually buy peppers when they're on sale. I bought these a long time ago, and I literally chopped them up, I diced them up, and I froze them. This is the perfect meal to be adding these kind of chopped peppers because they're not good for putting in a salad, but honest to goodness, absolutely perfect, and it will save you a ton of time. And if you buy things when they're on sale, it's going to save you a lot of money as well. Okay, so here's the mandolin, and it's called the 4-in-1 mandolin for a reason. It comes with, of course, this blade, but there's an additional 3 blades here, okay? And what I'm going to do is I am actually going to just turn this down a little bit. That's getting a little too hot for me. Cooking up fast, I won't be able to get this done by the time my rice is ready. Okay. I'm just going to throw my chicken in there just to warm it up a little bit. Now, if you didn't have already cooked chicken, add it both at the same time because the chicken and the sausage will cook the same, but I'm getting lots of nice flavors in there. Okay, so back to the mandolin. Okay, so I've got this mandolin in here, but I want to use, make myself a little bit of room here. The mandolin one that I want to use is the one that slices and dices. There it is. So this one, as you can see, has blades, and of course we've got this slicer here. So I'm just gonna pop this out by pushing my finger in there. You can see there's a little hole there. And I'm just going to, like putting on a shoe, if you stick your toe in and you snap it down. Now, I love that this mandolin has these nice grips for your veggies that you're putting on here. And I'm just going to make sure that this is set in here nicely. And I am going to slice and dice all at the same time. haven't got it in all the way. There we go. Now we're happening. You'll notice it's got a little finger plunger at the top. So as you're pushing it down, put your finger on there and it just basically puts it down like a chute in your like your food processor. So there's virtually nothing left, right? It's basically just the top. All right. So with my flexible cutting board, I'm going to make sure that as soon as this is cooked up, we're going to add this into the pan. Now, I'm going to be taking out this meat here and putting it in a separate bowl because I don't want to overcook it, especially when it comes to chicken, because I don't want it getting hard and rubbery, right? I just want it cooked and heated. So when this is browned, as you can see, just put it in a separate bowl for a second, and then we're going to cook up the rest. Now, you'll notice that the caramelization I'm leaving in there, that's got lots of flavor in it, okay? So at this point, we're going to get our onion in here, and I am at this point, I am going to add a little bit of oil in here. Because of course, veggies don't have a lot of fat in them, so we're just gonna throw that in there. Perfect. And we're going to chop, I'm going to add my peppers already that I've had. I'm going to chop up my celery. I'm going to get rid of the onion that's on here. Now, you might be asking, how do you clean this? Okay, number one, because there's these sharp blades in here, I wouldn't recommend that you wipe it with a towel, but what I like doing is I like running it under the sink, both sides, and then when you're storing it away, always make sure that you use the flat one, because you don't want this being in a drawer and someone, you know, cutting with their fingers on, and it's really, really sharp. I actually make sure that when I'm putting this away, it goes in the box, okay? So that's an idea for you. Okay. So now, what else do we need? I said we automatically need celery. So I've got 2 ribs of celery. This is our ceramic knife. Of course, you guys know that it comes with a nice sheath to protect the edge. And you can, depending on what your family's like, I know my kids absolutely hated veggies. So if you want, you can cut them in half this way. So they're maybe not as conspicuous. And then chop them, okay? And this ceramic knife just chops fabulously. As you can see. Done. And again, check out the flexible cutting board, get everything in here. Okay, and the last thing that we're going to add in here is I'm going to just show you the last pepper, because these were frozen, but I want you to see how nicely this cuts. So I actually like cutting around the sides. And in terms of bell peppers, you can have the red, you can have the yellow, you can have the orange, or you can have the green. They all taste a little bit different, but they're all basically the same plant, just picked at a different time frame. So of course the reds have been around the longest. So take out your seeds, you don't need to be adding them to your meal. Get a few in here, I'll just chop out. And then you can just put these into cubes as well. So what can I tell you about fun food facts? Okay, here we go. So some fun food facts about jambalaya. As I mentioned before, the first time it was seen in a cookbook, it actually was in a cookbook from 1878. And that recipe, or that cookbook, actually was printed in South Mobile, Alabama. Yeah, guys, the deep, deep South. And of course, if you've ever been down there, you know that there is a real French influence there. So Creole cooking or Cajun cooking, you'll probably see, if you go down that direction or go look online, you'll see lots of jambalaya or Cajun meals on their menus. And they're just so easy, like a little mishmash of everything. Now, at this point, I'm going to be also adding my seasoning here pretty soon. I'm just going to let these sweat a little bit. I don't know if you heard, but my microwave has gone off. My rice is ready. We're going to add that as soon as my peppers are sort of half cooked. And then we're going to put everything together. We're going to add some tomatoes, the seasoning, and it'll come together very, very, very quickly. Okay, so I'm going to get my saute spoon again. Get a little bit more heat on here. Oops. Sweat down your veg. Doesn't it look colorful already though? Okay, so here's another thing. Fun food fact. In 1968, the governor of Louisiana proclaimed that Gonzales, Louisiana, was the jambalaya capital of the world. Now, there's a couple jambalayas out there. There is the New Orleans jambalaya, which is going to have tomatoes in it, which is what I'm going to be adding, because I had a 28-ounce can of crushed tomatoes, and I've already used it for half a recipe already, so I've got half there, and that's exactly what this recipe takes. So the other thing that I will tell you is the Cajun trinity of vegetables. So whenever you're making Cajun, and you can add okra in here, you could use carrots, you could put garlic in here. Oh gosh, you could put almost any vegetable you have in your fridge. So it's a good way to use it up rather than throwing it away. And you're gonna feed your family really well. But it always has those three things: the celery, the onion, and the bell pepper. Okay, so this is coming along just fine. So I am now going to use our scissors, right? And you can purchase these online as well. And I am just literally going to add this package of seasoning now. And like I said, there is no crab inside here. It's just the flavoring for a great crab cake. Speaking of which, if you don't want to do crab, you can use this for salmon, you can use it in tuna, and certainly Crabby Jambalaya. Yum, yum. Oh, I love, 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 love the seasonings. Okay, so we'll now get this flavor going. I'll add my tomato sauce, or my crushed tomatoes actually, not tomato sauce. If you buy tomato sauce, usually it's filled with a whole bunch of sugar already. You can buy any tomatoes, whatever's on sale. You can use whole tomatoes and crush them yourself. We're also going to make sure that we add some extra water in here. So I'm going to add 2 cups here of water. And because I've added water and tomatoes to there, I do want to enhance the flavor. And because I'm using chicken with my sausage, and it's a turkey sausage, I'm going to add some additional nourish broth to this. 2 tablespoons using our 4-in-1 spoon. And I love that the tablespoon fits right into the jar. This was created right in-house, so we knew exactly what size we wanted to put in there. So you can just sprinkle this right on. Perfect. And that's going to give you a lot of flavor. Now, you can do this just as it is. But the other thing, if you actually have it in your pantry, it's not required, but it's one of the products I love for this jambalaya to give it a little bit more smoky flavor, because I did not use a smoked sausage, which most jambalayas do. What you may want to consider is if you have the smoky Spanish paprika in our product line. You'll love it, by the way. It's not overpowering with smoke, but it has a really, really nice smoky flavor. And I'm going to use my 4-in-1 spoon. Oops, turn this down before it splatters on me. And I'm going to add a teaspoon of this. Again, not required, and if you have kids, you may want to hold back on this because it does paprika. It does have a little bit more of a zip to it. I'm going to get my rice. And for those of you that didn't think you could cook rice in a microwave, let me shock you. Rice, done absolutely perfectly. So I'm literally going to add this right to the dish. So that was 1 cup of rice. You notice there's no extra liquid in there. How easy is this to clean out? Unlike maybe your rice cooker, it is virtually clean. Rinse it out, throw it in the dishwasher, and you're done. Okay, so the last thing that we need to do is get our meat back in here. Stir this up, and as you can see, it makes a lot of food. Now, once you make this, just so you know, you might be thinking, oh my gosh, there's only like 2 or 4 of us in the family. We can never eat this much. This freezes and keeps. It'll keep in the fridge for about 3 days, but you can freeze it as well. And so when you come home, if you want to make this and split it into family-sized servings, just throw it in your freezer, pull it out, and you can just heat it up in your steamers. So we'll just let the flavors meld, just like chili. We've got all those flavors going. I'm just going to taste it. You'll know that most of our products do not have any salt in them, so it may require a little bit of salt and pepper. And so let me just give this a taste. See how my seasoning is going? Oh my gosh, would not add any salt. It's perfect. Okay, and the last thing that you're going to do to top this, you should always finish it off with some green onion. So just cut off my tops there. And I've got some celery some parsley that was growing in my little salad herb garden. So I'm going to be adding that as well. So just sprinkle this on top. Get my parsley. Sprinkle that on top. And there you go. This is your jambalaya dish, a meal to feed an army. Oh my gosh, the weight on this. So guys, remember, Epicure does not, just because it says classic crab cakes, doesn't mean that you have to make crab cakes. Just look at the packaging, see what kind of ingredients it is. I quite often just smell it and go, how would this work? And if you ever purchase this product and you're wondering, how can I use it? Please just reach out to me. This is my full-time job. So again, guys, thanks for coming into my cooking class. Have a fabulous day. And remember, meals made in minutes is exactly what we need. So thanks for popping in for our Crabby Jambalaya. Take care, everyone. Have a fabulous night. Bye-bye.